Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So I'm working back on my GTP Mustang, and I'm going to start on one of my group builds, get it in some colored lease, or at least get it started, and we'll kind of go from there. So first of all, for the GTP, I had a little bit of paint issue, I know, and it didn't go my way. It was my fault. I was trying to layer it too many times. Too many different coats, trying to cover up a blemish with a blemish, and ended up with a blemish. So I didn't want to go through the hassle like I did on the Coronet model I had, where the rest of the body looked beautiful, but I had some glitches on the trunk. So I taped it off and then tried to just wet sand the trunk down, and yeah, I'm not going through that again. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to strip this and I'm going to start over, because I don't want to get everything all said and done looking good, decal it, and then put some clear on it or whatnot, and then the clear buckles for some reason, and then I'm screwed. So I thought, we're just gonna strip it on. We're gonna start over. So I'll take you out of the garage and show you a little progress on that, and then we're gonna take it and primer it. If you guys haven't gotten into this group build, this group build's for the rock and roll group build. So over at Woody Scale Models, so go check out Dave's channel over there. He's got a cool channel going on, and the group build is basically on any song that has a car in it, any type of car. You know, like little GTO or whatever. So obviously you build a GTO themed after that song. Little Deuce Coupe, you know, you guys get it. So I'm doing from the song Wild Wild Mustang by Dick Dale and his Deltones. So I don't know if you ever heard the song before. Go check it out. It's kind of cool. And they talk about a little Mustang, 289 Mustang from the Fomoco, and that's what I've got going on right here. So this bad boy has a 289 in it, little Mustang. So that's what we're doing, and I'm gonna do is get it in some color. This is a great kit. If you guys never built this model, for AMT kit, it's actually a really nice builder. So I built a couple of these, and so what we're gonna do is put this in some primer as well and go from there. So other than that, let's take you out to the garage. We'll show the progress on that GTP Mustang that we're stripping down, and we'll kind of go from there. We'll bring you back to bench side, and we'll get going on things. So let's get started. Well, guys, we had to do the brake fluid gig. We stripped it down. So we got our awesome .3 here. Worked great. And yeah, so stripped it down. I was having a couple issues with it, and I thought, you know what, time to keep sanding it. It's just quicker to strip it. So I find it's almost nicer to put it in these bags, these plastic bags. You can put them in here, soak them, and works great. So I found this works really well, and because you don't have to use as much brake fluid, so that's kind of nice. So we got that, and I do have the little moat going on here because I forgot about the spoiler and the hood. So these actually turned out really good, but we're gonna do a different way. So it's all stripped down. I hear Piggy in the other room, so let's go say hi to Piggy quick. I hear him winking. There he is. Hey, Piggy. Oh, come here. Come here, crazy. There he is. Hey, Pig. What you doing, buddy? Come say hi. There you go. Yep. Oink, oink, oink. This is Piggy. He's just a little guy. Little pot-belly pig. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Yeah, he's our garage mascot here. He's the garage pet. He's just a little guy. He's not going to get very big. Where you going, buddy? So he lives in the garage. All right, Piggy, we got to go. Say bye. Yep. Okay. Oh, trying to bite my clothes. Say bye, Piggy. Okay, guys, so get this cleaned up here, and we'll get it back into the paint mode once again. So yeah, so this cleaned up really nice. And I'll tell you what, you'd never know it had paint. It was pre-painted, primered, all that stuff. I mean, it cleaned up super, super good. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I redid everything. Just kind of started right over from the get-go and kind of going from there. So like I say, I'm going to get this washed up. Or I did get it washed up. So now we're going to get it reprimered and all that fun stuff. So working with brake fluid, I know a lot of you guys do, and I find it works really well. I've learned, especially at work, if you need to rinse brake fluid off something, to use cool water, not hot water. Almost cool to cold water. And that actually works better than hot water. It'll help remove it quicker. So, and if you have issues like with glass, something, it won't distort the glass. Where hot water and brake fluid will. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I do know I got a few things at work, and it says in there extremely, like caution, rinse with cool water only, not hot. So, and I do know it makes a difference, because I tell you what, it took this model here and it looks beautiful. I mean, I don't feel a thing on it. It cleaned up really well, so I'm pretty happy with it. So like I said, we're gonna get it primered, get it going again, and see what we can do with this time around. Hopefully get a little better results out of it. Okay guys, so we got this wiped down real good. So I went through and I took my scriber and I just went through and re-hit these lines just a little bit, just to clean them up. So we're looking pretty good. Other than that, we're going to use our Mr. Hobby base white primer, and we're going to get this mixed up and get this thing rolling. So for this, I'm just going to use my Mr. Hobby thinner, just regular thinner on this, not the leveling. So we are at 5 milliliters of thinner, and we are about 3 milliliters of primer. Okay, I'll get this mixed up and I'll meet you guys over in the paint booth. All right guys, getting this spoiler re-primered. Get a nice few coats, just nice light coats. This covers really well, so you don't have to cake it on too heavy. Moving on to the body, just give you guys a quick shot here. A little overall, like I say, sprayed out really nice, no blemishes. And this will definitely be my last time using this 0.0 airbrush, because it was leaking pretty bad. Like I say, this covered really well, so I was pretty impressed with it. So give it a couple good shots all the way around. Once I give it one good coat, and I went back through and hit everything again with a second coat. Other than that, guys, that's going to wrap this up, and we'll move on to the Mustang. Alright guys, so if you're not in on this, this is the due date, so yes, it has a long ways to go, but I don't know why. It's just one of those things I want to get on. So opening up real quick, like I say, I have not started on this kit. I opened it up once and just to look inside. And so yeah, so we're fresh, clean. This is my favorite. Oh, pad printed tires. Got some Firestone wide ovals. Awesome, loving it. So we're just after a few body parts. I don't care about the rest of the kit at this moment. So that's all we're after. So these obviously aren't working. So let's just go this route. Because when you need an X-Acto knife, oh hey look, there's one right here. You never find them. That's just as sharp as the scissors. Okay, things are looking up. Get this out of here. So I just want a few pieces. I want the body parts. Because we're going to do is we're going to prime everything. I think we're good here. And kind of go from there. So we're going to nip a few of these pieces off the sprue with my railroad nippers. Because I need to break down and buy some real ones. So looking at this, this goes into the body, so I can't really use the sprue as a holder, which I like to do sometimes, but this isn't going to work for me. But that's okay, it's not the end of the world. So we'll just get these off here in the trunk lid. I'm not going to leave the trunk where it's opened. I'm just going to leave it to where it's closed at all times. Because that's me. I don't feel like trying to hinge it and all that stuff. Like I said before, I'm more of a box builder to a point, because that's just the way it is. Yeah, so this kit's not too bad. I got some flashing, and I have some serious white paint on my hand. So I tell you what, guys, in a video I did a while back, I was showing you some airbrushing. That 0.0, you see me pull that needle out of there. That's why that thing sticks so bad, because it leaks so bad back in the trigger. It's impossible to clean unless you just soak the whole thing. And it was a cheap Amazon one, and it's been giving me a few fits here and there. So just this last time using it, yeah, so as I'm using it, just as I'm spraying, it's just drip, drip, drip. And I thought, okay, it's time to retire you. So yeah, so that's why that was kind of aggressive in that video, but hey, that's how it goes. And you know what, it was a $28 $29 airbrush, so that's kind of what I expected, and I used it for almost 2 years, so I got my $29-30 out of it, and I used that thing forever. So I'll show you what happens. And right here, it leaks in here. It leaks in the back through the needle, and it'll pool up here and just make a mess. So that might have been the last time I'm going to use that, and I think it might just end up in the garbage. I'm not sure. If somebody wants it, get a hold of me and I'll mail it to you. And if you want to try to do something with it, it's yours. So send me first one on the comments that says, hey man, send that to me. I'll send it your way, box and all. So you'll get the needles and everything. You will not get the quick disconnects, but I will send you the rest of it. So if anybody wants this airbrush, it's got issues, it leaks real bad here, I will send it to you. So free of charge, it's yours. First comment. All right, moving on. Other than that, I'm throwing it away. So we're gonna get this off here, do the trunk. So in the meantime, I'm gonna break out my single stage airbrush, and I'm gonna put, because that is a siphon feed, which works really good, but I don't like the cleanup on the siphon feed, so that's why I don't use them that often versus a gravity feed. But what we're gonna do is, I have a cup. I gotta find my other knife. I got a cup. So I have a cup that was in the other kit, so we're gonna end up just using that, and that should do the job. Get a little bit of this off here, and we'll take her in the house and give it a quick washy wash, and then we're gonna hit it up. See, I'm not removing this piece because I'm leaving my trunk in there. It says remove it, but you know what? If it's a lot better with it on there. And like I say, I'm not. Look how different color the plastic is. Isn't that crazy? So we're leaving that in there. Other than that, the body looks pretty clean. And we'll get this going. So I'm going to clean this up, and I will bring you guys back, and we'll get it shot. Okay, guys, we got everything all cleaned up, washed up, sanded. Did a little panel lining here. No, not panel lining, but cut out some doors here a little bit. Opened up some gaps and cracks just a little bit. Other than that, I think we're pretty good. So it's been washed and all that fun stuff. Tail panel, I may do this in black. So once I got going on this, and I realized, just looking at it, this was really scratched up really bad through here. So I don't know what the deal was there, why it was like that, but yeah, it was pretty rough looking. So it took a little bit of finessing to get that looking somewhat okay. Other than that, nose piece is ready to go. So I think we're ready to mix. So like I mentioned, we're going to paint this with Mr. Hobby Surfacer, gray in color. And this time around, I am officially retiring the 0.0 like I'd mentioned. If you guys want it, give me a holler. First email on it, or first comment on it, it's yours. So I am breaking out the single stage, and I'm going to use this cup that's out of the Pache kit. So that'll be a lot easier to clean. So we'll get this mixed up, and we'll get this thing rolling. So if you guys never used this primer before, it's really, really nice. It sprays out very good. So we're going to go 5 on the thinner, and we're going to go 3 on the primer. So we have 5 milliliters there, and we're going to do 3 in the primer. So you don't want to mix this 50-50 because this stuff's actually pretty thick. I'm just going to trust the pipette that I have 3. And there we go, right there's 3. And we're going to use this to mix back and forth. Okay, it's somewhat transparent, so that should work out pretty good right there. Usually I like to mix it too much like that, but I am running low on pipettes and on my cups, because when I did an order, I forgot to order cups, and I thought, oh, that's the way it goes. That's okay, we'll get some. All right, take you over to the paint booth, and we'll use this guy and see how she works. Alright guys, we got a lot going on here. Mess on the bench, parts everywhere. Good stuff, good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint most of the stuff black. We're going to use the primer black. This is the Mr. Hobby 1500 Surfacer. This is T105-0014. I think it's a T. It's a Chinese thing. It looks like it, or a Japanese thing. Sorry. And then after we get done with that, the interior is going to be green because the exterior is going to be mist green. So we're going to paint the interior willow green metallic. So all the door panels, all that stuff, we're going to paint it black first and paint this over top. This is a really cool looking green. This is a lacquer. So the MCW lacquers, these are pre-mixed. So it's just dump it in and go. So I got about a half a bottle of this left, so I'm hoping I got enough to do what I need to do. So all the seats, all that stuff is going to be green. The back panel for the window, front seats, and everything else will be black. So I'm doing the carpet in black, which is the carpet's part of this. And the back of the seats are going to be black. And I'm going to do the green on the front. So I think that should look pretty cool. So we're going to get it all sprayed, and then once that dries a little bit, I'll bring you back and we'll spray that green on there. That should look pretty cool. So the body right now is in the Susie Bake Oven cooking. Getting that primer dried out, and then the body is also going to get a coat of this, and then we're going to spray the green on top of it. That way there'll kind of fill in some of the body line molds. Alright, I'll get this sprayed and I will bring you guys back. Okay guys, so we got this painted up and it's been sitting in the hydro for a while, so Susie Bake Oven cured her out nicely, and now we're going to do is give it a little shot of wet sanding, just a little hint, and then we're going to do is we're going to spray the body with willow green metallic gloss lacquer. I'm using this as a base coat for the green mist metallic for this here. So if you guys know, you spray metallic enamels, anytime you get a sharp corner like this here, it wants to walk away a little bit, so you got to give it a lot of light coat. So what we're going to do with this is the enamel, or the lacquer, actually will fill in really nice and doesn't walk away as much. So we're going to put this on as a base and then put this on over top of it. So I don't have much here. I got less than half a bottle, so I'm hoping I can hit it. So I'm going to just give it a really quick coat because I want to do the interior as well, but I don't think I'm going to have enough paint. So I definitely want to do the body first because that's kind of the goal of putting it over this. Especially these side pieces here, that's where I'd really have the issue, because I know this here would just walk right away and just sit in the center, and the high spots would just be gray primer yet. So we're going to do is just give this a real quick wet sand. I'm going to hit it with some 3000 because I am out of my 5000, and we're going to do that, and I will bring you guys back and we'll paint it up real quick and see what she looks like. And like I say, hopefully I got enough to do my interior, and we'll move on from there. So I'll get this wet sanded and I'll bring you guys back and we'll go from there. Alright guys, we got this sanded down. So I give it just a light coat, or light sanding, nothing major. So like I said, now we're going to spray this MCW 6511 Willow Metallic Green Gloss Lacquer. So we're going to give it just a light coat, and this is basically a base coat for something for this to stick to. So we're going to shoot this quick, and hopefully I can do this in a real light coat and give enough to get that interior painted. So we'll see. So for this here, I'm going to use the Iwata because that single stage trigger, it's like all or nothing. So I need a little more control for this one. So we're going to do the Iwata, and the air pressure, I had to readjust it. So for the siphon feed, I ended up running at about 25 psi. This one we're back down to 18 psi. So we will get this moved over the paint booth and we'll get shooting it. Take a look how she turns out. Alright guys, so we got this Mustang painted up with the 6511 Willow Green Metallic Lacquer from MCW. Took the rest of the bottle. There wasn't a lot in here. It might have been to here. So I couldn't give it too heavy of a coat just because I didn't have enough to give it. So I already went through and wet sand this down. Now I like this color. I like the color, you know, like I wish I had more of this. I would have just left it like this. I think that's a cool color. With black trim, I think that'd look really sharp. But anyways, we are painting something that's similar to this, but just a little more of a different shade. So went through, this is my Mr. Hobby primer, and I primered the seats so you can see a little different in hue with on top of the black. So we did the back seats and we did the door panels. Everything's all done up nice. So those are ready to be detailed out and all that fun stuff. So this here has got a chrome ring around there. So that chrome ring is going to separate between here, and I'm doing the back in a black back. So I thought that'd look pretty cool, the chrome separation. Yes, look all right. Something different because the carpet's going to be black. Back seats are going to be black, and then the behind the seat here, I'm sorry, back seat's going to be green, and behind the seat is going to be black. So where that folds down, that's going to be black. Should that been another color? Maybe, I'm not sure. So from this point, I'm going to take this back in the house and wash it. Like I say, everything's all wet sanded down. And I wet sand this with 3000. I was out of my Trizac, so I went that day up to Auto Parts and I grabbed me another 5000 sheet because I love this stuff. So moving on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this painted up with the MCW Mist Green Metallic. Very cool color. So like I mentioned before, guys, the reason why I did this, and I'll show you. So this is the dark green. I think it's a Chrysler color. I did this on top of gray primer. And you can see it wasn't this bad. I polished it a little bit and I did get it close because I knew it was already walked away from it. But if you have to give a lot of multiple light coats to cover those lines up. You got to give it a light coat, let it sit, and then give it another light coat, let it sit, and just kind of build it up. Just because the metallic enamel will want to walk away with those sharp lines. So what I did instead is I figured lacquer won't do that. Lacquer will just stick and go. I mean, it's good to go. So what I'm going to do, obviously, with lacquer, and I got a color that's very similar to what I'm putting it on. See how it works, and this should work pretty good. So like I said, I'm going to get this in the house. We're going to get some of this mixed up, and we'll see how this bad boy paints out. I'm kind of curious how it's going to look. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, as always, I'm using my Mr.Color leveling thinner. Grab the right bottle. This should be T108. Great stuff. And we are using our Mist Green Metallic 6859E. So I have it all mixed up from the fancy trumpeter mixer. That's a must doing these because it gets that metallic out the bottom. So yeah, so other than that, we're going to put the MCW hardener in it. So the MCW hardener is 1003E, and not necessarily need it, but it does speed up the process quite a bit. So green's going to take a little bit to paint, so probably got a lot of multiple light coats. So I'm probably going to make a little bit of paint, like extra paint. So that way I don't have to remix. But if I have to, not a big deal, but it'd be nice just to be one and done. So I went ahead and I panel lined all my gaps and cracks, just in case the black doesn't fill it in. And that gives me a kind of a good head start on the panel line. And then we can just touch it up later in life once it's all said and done. So other than that, we'll get this mixed up. So like I say, just come in and washed it, and she's all dried off nice, so it should spray out pretty good. I think this color is beautiful looking. Love it. We're going to see how it sprays out. Sometimes some of these green metallics don't spray out very well. It's almost a clear coat, it's a must on them. So we're going to see how this does. Okay, so we're going to dump this guy in here. Like so. And then we're going to use our MCW hardener. And we're going to go 3 milliliters on this one. Count them 3. 1, 2, 3. So we got 3 milliliters exactly on the pipette, because that's about as much as it'll drop. That's the top of the pipette. So that is the belt, the most you get out of it. And we will throw this away. No cross contamination, any sort. And we're gonna get her mixed up. We'll take you over to the paint booth and we'll get her rolling. I'll meet you over there. Alright guys, a couple hours after painting. It's probably close to dry. Obviously not going to handle it, but that looks pretty cool. I like that color. That's sharp looking. So we're just going to leave it in here overnight, and we'll check her tomorrow. So what I'm going to do with this, it's going to get black decals. The vent up top, kind of like the vent for the window, that's green. But the two side vents, those are going to be black. I'm going to bare metal foil them first, then paint them black. I think that'll look pretty cool. So yeah, with our green interior, she looks pretty cool. So, alright guys, there we have it. So I appreciate you tuning in, checking out the channel, and we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.